in 1994, while South Africa was entering a new democratic era, a small telecom company was being launched with an ambitious idea: connect millions of Africans who had never owned the phone. At the time, few people imagined that this new operator would one day become Africa's telecom giant, serving nearly 291 million subscribers across multiple countries. But building that empire was never smooth. MTN faced brutal competition, billion-dollar regulatory crisis, political pressure, currency collapses, and technological disruption. Yet, somehow, it kept growing. Today, MTN is not just a telecom company, it is one of the strongest digital infrastructures on the continent. This is the story of how MTN built Africa's largest telecom empire, the network that changed the continent. There was a time when owning a mobile phone in Africa felt like luxury. A time when making a simple call meant searching for a fixed telephone line, waiting in long queues, or even depending on public phone booths. Across much of the continent in the 1990s, communication infrastructure was weak, expensive, and concentrated in urban centers. Then came a company that understood something many global investors did not. Africa's telecom future would not be built by copying Europe. It would be built by solving African problems first. That company was MTN Group. Born in 1994 in post-apartheid South Africa, MTN began as a small mobile operator entering an uncertain industry. 3 decades later, it became Africa's most powerful telecom business, operating across multiple countries, serving more than 300 million subscribers, and generating enormous influence over how Africans communicate, pay bills, use data, and even run businesses. But that rise was not smooth. Behind the yellow brand was a company repeatedly pushed to the edge. Massive fines, government battles, currency crashes, executive resignations, market wars, and one Nigerian scandal so serious it nearly shook the entire group. At the time it began in 1994, it was recognized with the name MCell. That timing was historic, as South Africa had just entered democracy. The economy was opening, and entire sectors were being restructured. Telecommunications became one of the most strategic industries because communication was directly linked to economic expansion. And at that moment, most people still depended on landlines. But landlines meant one thing. It meant heavy infrastructure, which included cables, exchange systems, expensive installations. Mobile networks offered a different possibility: build wireless access faster than fixed infrastructure. MTN saw that possibility immediately. Its founders understood that Africa had millions of people who had never owned telephones. That meant mobile would not simply replace landlines. In many places, it would completely bypass them. This became one of the most important business predictions in Africa corporate history. Let's talk about the CEO that changed everything. Their early breakthrough came from Futuma Nleko. At the time Futuma became a CEO in 2002, MTN stopped thinking like a national telecom operator. Instead, it started thinking continentally. His strategy was bold. Do not wait for mature markets. Enter the difficult markets early and scale before competitors understand demand. That decision alone changed MTN forever, as at that time, many investors believed African telecom expansion carried too much political and financial risk. Neko believed the opposite, as risk itself for him created opportunity. Under his leadership, MTN aggressively pursued national and regional expansion and built what became one of Africa's strongest telecom footprints. Nigeria, the decision that built the empire. Nothing in MTN's history matters more than Nigeria. When MTN entered Nigeria in 2001 under the then President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, the market looked difficult. Despite the great potential that Nigeria had in terms of its huge population and very low phone penetration, the difficulties associated with entering Nigeria looked enormous because there was limited telecom infrastructure, unstable electricity, and major logistics challenges. However, Nigeria also had one powerful advantage. It had a massive unmet demand. MTN invested heavily before many rivals fully understood how explosive that demand would become. It built towers around cities and remote regions. It expanded switching centers and poured money into transmission systems. However, the first few years were very chaotic. Power outages forced dependence on diesel generators, and road networks slowed tower deployment. Equipment movement was also very difficult, yet the subscriber growth exploded, and within a short time, Nigeria became MTN's most valuable market. Eventually, Nigeria would contribute more to MTN's financial power than even South Africa itself. Let's talk about why MTN understood Africa better than many rivals. MTN's major strength was not just money, it was also local adaptation. Because in many countries, telecom operators copied the Western rollout models. However, MTN did something different. It designed operations around African realities, and that meant generator-powered towers, distributed tower expansion, local dealer networks, micro airtime distribution, and mass prepaid access. That prepaid, it changed everything. Instead of requiring monthly contracts, people could buy airtime in tiny amounts. This matched everyday African spending habits, and that small strategic move helped MTN unlock millions of first-time mobile users. Let's talk about that country that completed the empire. Now, I know I said that country, but actually there were several of them. After Nigeria, MTN expanded across multiple markets. They went into Ghana, they went into Uganda, Cameroon, Zambia, and even Rwanda. Its pattern remained disciplined. Theirs was to enter early, invest aggressively, build infrastructure before saturation, and soon, in several countries, MTN became the dominant first brand many people associated with mobile communication itself. That alone created emotional brand loyalty as well as market control. Let's talk about their first major corporate shock. MTN's most dangerous moments started in Nigeria. The regulators discovered millions of unregistered SIM cards still active even after deadlines had passed. This became a national security issue because unregistered SIMs were linked to serious security concerns. Nigeria's regulators imposed a fine of 1.04 trillion naira, which is around $5.2 billion at the time, to was one of the biggest corporate fines ever imposed in African telecom history. The impact was immediate. Investors panicked, and MTN's market value dropped. Its executives came under pressure. 3 major resignations also followed, which included top leadership connected to the crisis. That scandal forced out CEO Sifiso Dabengwa. His resignation was one of the clearest signs that the crisis had reached the highest level. Then Futuma Nleko returned temporarily to stabilize the company. That move was critical as markets needed a reassurance, government needed renegotiation, and employees needed the leadership at the time. MTN escaped total damage as they started negotiations with Nigeria that lasted several months. Originally, the fine of $5.2 billion was reduced to 330 billion naira, which is roughly about $1.7 billion. Even at its reduced value, the effects remained painful. MTN had to pay over time, but survival mattered more than cost. The company also agreed to strengthen compliance systems. That crisis permanently changed MTN's regulatory strategy. From then on, compliance became central to expansion decisions. Then after the scandal came Rob Shooter. His job was simple but brutal. His was to restore confidence and focus on governance, financial discipline, regulatory repair, and reducing the reputational damage. Next was Ralph Mupita, who was originally appointed CFO but later became CEO in 2020. Mupita arrived during another difficult period where there was economic pressure, currency instability, digital disruption, and rising competition. But his leadership changed MTN again. Instead of focusing only on telecom, he pushed MTN towards platform thinking, meaning that MTN should not just sell connectivity, it should also own digital ecosystems. There were also several wars with other networks like Airtel. 2024 was also a difficult time for MTN as theirs was shaped by inflation and naira weakness. However, in 2025, they rebound strongly. The profits before tax returned sharply, revenue grew strongly, and Nigeria and Ghana became MTN's major drivers. As of 2026, MTN is no longer defining itself as a telecom operator only. It is building towards 5G networks, AI systems, digital platforms, enterprise infrastructure, financial technology, and many more. The company calls this transition part of its next long strategy after Ambition 2025. That means that MTN is preparing for a future where network ownership alone is not just enough. Control of digital services will determine the next telecom winners. Yet, MTN's future is not guaranteed, as new threats are emerging: satellite internet, fintech challengers, younger app-first consumers, regulatory activism. The next decade may be harder than the first because now MTN is large enough that every decision carries continental consequences. MTN built Africa's telecom empire because it entered hard markets before others believed in them. It survived because each crisis forced reinvention, from the SIM card scandal to executive exits to telecom wars or even to fintech transformation. Its story mirrors Africa's own digital rise, and even now, the empire is still evolving.